Hi, I'm Judith Ryan. I've just recently finished my book, Mastectomy Moments. And, it's a journey that was pretty difficult, but there were actually some gifts that I got from that, so I wrote a book. I dedicate this book to all persons whose hearts have been cracked open by cancer, making them stronger, greater lovers of life, and more compassionate souls. Yeah, cancer does a number on you. It really does. From the introduction, I'm going to read a bit and kind of get us into what's going on here. A breast for life. Who wouldn't make that pact? My cancer rite of passage required the sacrifice of my right breast. It was something I did surely, but not easily. A woman's breasts are many things to her. A physical manifestation of her womanhood, a familiar body part, a sensual delight, a nurturing dispenser of sweet mother's milk. I never dreamed I would get cancer, much less that I would lose my precious mammary. With a mastectomy, you not only endure mutilation, albeit surgical, you experience cancer, frequently a life-taking disease. Cancer is a game changer, and I am forever changed. My life was blown apart, and as it comes back together, the reassembly is creating a different me. This process of change comes from within and without. Once you look death in the face, or more accurately, once death jumps out at you, and you have to look it in the face, there is a momentous shift in perception. I now know on a cellular level that this life is not a drill. Being on the earth in a physical body has an expiration date. I realized that my body, is vulnerable to disease and death. Death doesn't just visit other people, it has knocked at my door. I may not die now, but I am paying closer attention to how I'm living because there are no guarantees. There's a whole chapter on not wasting time. Seriously, time is life. Anyway, we'll get, I don't know if I'll get to all of it, but that's a pretty good one too, that chapter. I'm going to give you just a quick backstory here. I had a flat blister on my breast, and the sonogram came back clear, no cancer. Mammogram came back clear, no cancer. So I actually just went in for a procedure to have it removed and went back for my doctor to look at it. I was sitting on the examining table thinking about that there was a little concaveness where the surgery was when Dr. Perrin walked in for my post-op check. I started to mention this little problem I thought I had when she turned to me and she said, "You have cancer." What? Had I dropped into a rabbit hole? I couldn't have been more astonished than if she had said with undeniable proof, "The world is flat." This moment of incredulity rent my reality with razor precision, a blade that cut to the quick, my day-to-day expectation of going on with reasonable health for the next 20 years. All my realities, large and small, were severed. That I was healthy, that my family genes would mean longevity. My mother and grandmother lived to be over 90. That the decades of organic eating mattered, that my dancing, walking, and Tai Chi had kept my energy clear, that my meditations and visualizations and mantras of vibrant good health were working for me, that the workshops, spiritual seeking, and emotional counseling were leading me to a healthier interior self, and that no question I would see my grandchildren grow up. In that moment, I didn't have time to go through this litany consciously because Dr. Perrin was at my side in a breath. She was holding the lab results and starting to discuss the results of the biopsy, possibilities, and options. I was in shock. Part of that chapter of being surprised and falling into the rabbit hole, I just realized something important. And I have a little subhead here, cancer erases worries. I had assumed that a biopsy had been done in surgery, and I would have known right away if there were malignant cells involved. That's why for a week afterwards, I was still la-di-da, carefree, just a little cranky about the slight irregular curve of my right breast. The joke was on me as I sat there ready to complain about an imperfect aesthetic result, only to hear that I had breast cancer and could possibly lose my breast entirely, or in the extreme, my life. That minor complaint fell away immediately, along with a gaggle of other imagined problems. In fact, all my previous concerns, like having enough money, loneliness, career questions, losing weight, they all disappeared. Cancer diagnosis is a magical eraser for all issues except one: to live. That becomes paramount. That is the driver for all your actions. Having your perceived troubles fall away is on my list of gifts from cancer. I enumerate those in chapter 21. This will be the last part. It's a big book. I don't want to bore you with too much. As I walked away from Dr. Perrin's office, I looked around the rhododendron bushes on the way to the parking lot. Objectively, they looked the same as when I blithely walked past them going to my appointment. Seen through cancer eyes, everything is tenuous. Would I be alive next year to see those plantings bloom again? Everything in my world could be gone, or more accurately, I could be gone from my world, this earth that I've become so used to and that I find so beautiful. It's a game changer, but not always for the worse, so thanks for listening.